Hello everybody and welcome to the next episode of Ask Evan, the only Ask series on YouTube where you ask legitimate questions and I answer with illegitimate puns. Let's get started. How did you go about making your last video and where did you draw the inspiration from it? Thank you for the question. If you didn't watch my video last week, please do. It's one of my favorites that I've ever made. Basically, as soon as I got home from traveling for 2 months and I was basically on holiday for 2 months, I just laid in my bed the next day and didn't do anything. I was kind of ill, but I was also just kind of dead to the world, and that whole video idea just came out of my head. I just started writing, and I wanted to make it like a poem. And so I wrote this poem, which became the poem Home, which is basically the first minute and a half of the video, and then I went on because I wanted to just vlog about all this other stuff that's been on my mind. So that's kind of how it worked. I got my friend Tomek to help me out, because when I first came up with the idea, I was like, I want to be in my bedroom, and I want my eyes to open. I want that to be the shot, and then I just want to go from there. And it was really fun, and I really hope to make some more stuff like that in the future. Maybe if I get more inspiration to write some poems and stuff, who knows. Do you have a favorite flavor of crisps? Yes, my favorite is sour cream and onion. That's the only one I can go for. I mean, I also like the mature cheddar and onion sometimes, but I'm all about the sour cream and onion, okay? Not a fan of vinegar at all. Don't touch me with vinegar chips, not happening. How's the flat hunt going? Not well at all. Haven't found anywhere yet, but if I do find a place, I'll probably update you on Twitter or in my next Q&A. Do you call potato chips crisps or chips? To be honest, I have completely switched over into saying crisps when it's talking about like a bag of crisps. It just makes sense to me. They're crispy. That's what they should be called. Also, in terms of chips versus fries, if it's a nice big thick steak fry or potato wedge of what they call it in America, that's a chip to me, you know, like, and it's like molten lava inside the chip. Whereas if it's a skinny thing, that's a French fry. I'll just call that a French fry. And that makes sense to me. Crisps, fries, and chips. There's a place for everyone. If you were gonna host a huge dinner party and could invite anyone in the world, dead or alive, who would you invite? I don't know about you, Emily, but I really wouldn't want any dead people at my party. I feel like that'd be a little uncomfortable for the rest of the guests, like me, some friends, a historical dead person just in a chair, Weekend at Bernie style. I don't know. I've never thought about it, so you can keep your fetish to yourself, really, Emily. Thanks. Do you prefer shopping alone or with friends? I'm in two minds about this. I feel like without Snapchat, I wouldn't know what to do. Usually I go shopping for myself. I have a lot of time. I'm not rushed. I find something I like. I try it on. I go, I Snapchat if people like it, figure it out, leave the store, come back with a friend, go, oh, that looks nice, doesn't it? And just kind of like get their opinion on it. I can't shop with friends because I always feel rushed, even if they're not rushing me, because I just don't want to take up their time. I'd rather spend time on them than spend time on me. And so like, hopefully I just get one opinion of theirs and then I go back a couple more times. That's how I bought this bomber jacket here. Literally, I think I went to Top Man 5 times before getting this exact one. I just could not make up my mind. How excited are you to reveal your new merch? Dude, I am so excited. I've got so much stuff. I can't wait to get it off my chest. Off my chest. That was bad, but I can put stuff on your chest soon because I got new merch coming out. At this point, my merch store is frozen because I've now changed dealers. I've had so many designs in my head that I've wanted to put out for so long, but I've been so busy with work and all this other stuff. And now I have a lot of free time to do all the admin and get all this stuff done. So I'm getting it done. It's not like I haven't done stuff in the past. It's just that in the past, I'd get designs and I'd go, no, that's terrible. I would never sell that. And people are like, oh, well, you should do it anyway. And I'm like, no, I shouldn't. Because unless I either would love to wear it myself or two, think it's 100% cool AF, I will not be selling it because all I want is the coolest stuff ever. And so that's what I'm working on. And by August, you will see some. What's the next place you're going to travel to? Also, I've seen you in a Polish cinema. Well, to be honest, I'm surprised you Warsaw me in a Polish cinema because I've never been in one, but I'm actually in some advert for Tunisia right now across loads of different areas of Europe. So that's really cool. In cinemas, you might see my face. That is weird AF. It's really freaky, but it's the second time in this video I've said AF. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, basically the next place I'm traveling to is possibly Amsterdam tomorrow. Why? I just love Amsterdam. It's cheap to go this week, and I was like, why not? And then I'm going to America in 3 weeks for VidCon. Are you excited for VidCon? Heck yes, I'm excited for VidCon. This is my first year. I'm going to be a featured creator, like on the schedule, and I have an official meet and greet, and that's really exciting because I've been going to VidCon now for 6 years. Like, I went to the second one ever. I missed the first one, but I've been to every other one. And I just remember going as a viewer when there was only 2,000 people there and just wanting to see everyone and meet friends that I had met over the internet, and I'm just really thankful that that still exists and that I can still go and hang out with friends that I only get to see once a year in America. So very thankful for VidCon existing, and I'm very excited for meeting lots of you there. So please be sure to tweet me if you're around because I want to meet as many of you as possible. Why are my hands going around places? Do you like spreadsheets? I mean, it's not like I like spreadsheets. I'm just good at them. People tell me I excel at spreadsheets, so Have you ever thought about changing your format? To be honest, it's not something that I've ever just wanted to do. Like, I've never had an ambition to make short films. I have had ambitions to make sketches and things. I love making comedy sketches. That's the stuff that I like doing. So if I had more time, I'd want to spend a bit more time adding extra elements into videos. So instead of just me in my bed the whole time, there's a lot of like cutaways to different things. Those are my favorite videos that I'm able to make. So in the future, I might make more videos like the one I made last week, which are a bit more artsy. And also in the future, now that I have more time, I want to do more videos with funny sketches and cutaways. Hey Evan, what's the best swimming pool game to play? It depends on how big your pool is. If you have a big pool or if you're swimming in a lake for some reason, greased watermelon is really fun. It's played like American football, except with watermelon that's greased up with butter, and you have to kind of like take the football watermelon to the other side of the lake / pool, except it's ridiculously hard to keep because it's a greased watermelon. However, if you have a small pool, I'm definitely a big fan of alligator, where like one person stands in the pool, everyone else is in the pool, and you have to silently cross before they can jump in and grab you. If you could only choose to play Smash Bros or Smash Mouth for the rest of your life, what would you choose? Hey now, I'm an all-star. I'm gonna get my game on and go play, okay? Definitely just sticking with Smash Bros. Have you ever thought about writing a pun dictionary for fans to use? Actually, yes. If I ever come out with a YouTube book, I can guarantee that's most likely what it's gonna be. It just makes sense. I love making puns, and I've actually thought about what the book would be like, and yeah, I'd love to make a pun book one day. Give me some time. Any puns about Book of Mormon? Orland, no, okay? Those are Salt Lake shitty. I tried, okay? How was the climbing / abseiling experience? If you didn't know this, Dodie and I went climbing a giant rock wall, and then we went abseiling down the tallest building in like the East Midlands of England. It was like 400 feet tall. It was terrifying from the top. I can do lots of adventure stuff, so I ended up doing it. Dodie bailed out, but you know what? She did a third of the tower from the inside, and she was sobbing, so I'm very proud of her for doing as much as she did, because it is scary, especially when your instructors aren't the best and don't talk about the safety as much as they should, but as someone who used to be in the Scouts and did that stuff all the time, it was like, this is just a bit taller. It's just a lot taller. What would be your biggest tips for living in America? Probably around $20 at a fancy restaurant. Will you ever do more covers? Actually, I've been deeply considering giving myself a challenge of doing one cover a month. I've been practicing a couple songs every day since I have a lot more free time on my ukulele, and I want to know your thoughts. Do you think that would work? Maybe I could do one every other month. I just really want to get back into making music, and I love when people find my previous cover like that's on my channel and they're like, wow, Evan's pretty good. And I'm like, thanks. That gives me a lot of confidence, because I'm not very confident in my ability, and that's why I'd have to practice quite a lot beforehand. But yeah, tell me what you think. What sports did you play growing up? My parents forced me to play so many different sports growing up, and I remember as a kid I had to play hockey for a little while, and then baseball. Baseball. Every year, you can tell how incredibly American I am, but I was so bad. I remember every year I'd be like, Mom, please don't make me do this again. And my dad would be like, I already paid for your year Little League. You better not mess it up. And so I'd go, my parents would watch me lose. I'd lose beautifully. My last year in baseball, I literally had a 0.000 batting average. And if you're not familiar with that, it means I literally got on base 0 times out of the entire season. I hit the ball once, went right into the first baseman's glove. Great. Now, the issue is I love kickball. It's the same type of rules, except it's much easier and safer to play. When I was 13 years old, I watched my friend get a pitch right into his mouth and lost 3 teeth, and it was bloody and terrifying, and that scarred me. Because now, as soon as I see a pitcher throw a ball, I'm like, don't hit it. And that's, you can't really change that. I'm a bit scared of the baseball. It's going too fast. It's not safe. Just roll a nice big old bouncy one at me and I'll kick it. Do people ever pronounce your name wrong? Like you wouldn't believe for someone that has a 2-syllable, 4-letter name, yet somehow people can go crazy with it. I introduced myself to someone the other day at a party and he said, nice to meet you, Kevin. And I went, oh, all right. And at that point, I was like, I am Kevin. This is who I am for the rest of the party. I can't change it. I'm not gonna correct this guy. So he came up to me later on the party and he said, hey, Kevin. I went, hey. I don't know what to do in that situation. Everyone else knows me as Evan, but that guy will forever know me as the Kevin. How many times do you pee a day? I never thought about that pee for. 4 times? No, maybe like 3 times, maybe like 2 times. It depends on how much water I'm getting. I should drink more water. Do you like reading? I actually love reading. I used to read a huge amount as a kid. I read like every day of my life in 7th grade through the AR program. And then I really haven't read that much in the last 2 months because I finished reading Lord of the Rings and it just felt so good to be done that I haven't picked anything up since then, but I should probably pick up the 3rd book in the Miss Peregrine's Peculiar Children's Stories because I like those quite a lot. They're nice. Tips on how to get over someone? You push them down and then you walk over them, and that's how you can get over someone. How amazing was Dodie live? So much better than Dodie dead. When she's dead, she's just not fun to be around, really. Do you feel more pressure in the content that you create now that you have 300,000 plus subs? Honestly, it is a slow boiling scale where like over time it gets more and more pressure, but honestly, I just really like what I do. I like what I make. And the thing that mostly stresses me is the bigger that my fan base gets, the more people that aren't the nicest that sneak in. Like a lot of you, most of you are absolutely lovely humans, and I love having you here, and I love getting your comments and things, and it makes me feel lovely. And then some people just are negative, and I don't like those people, and I'm like, you don't have to subscribe to me if you want to tell me that I'm a poos. A poos? I wanted to say piece of poop, and I said poos. Don't call me a poos, okay? I don't like it. But also, I just like what I'm doing, and the fact that even people that don't like me can like the content that I make, that makes me happy. Like, even if you don't like me, you can still like the stuff, especially the British versus American stuff. I feel like that's the stuff that you guys like the most, and it's awesome, because I love that stuff. If you've been watching my channel for over 3 years, you know, I dabbled with that series a bit over time just because I'm American. I live in the UK. I find it hilarious and interesting, all the differences. So I love talking about that. And speaking of those, by the way, I have 2 very interesting ones coming up in the next month. One with someone that you've rarely seen on this channel, and another one with, you know, a channel favorite. So look forward to those. When was the last time you cried? I had a little cry last night at 3 in the morning. I seem to be having a bit of an issue sleeping. I don't know why, but my brain will not shut off. I'll try and go to bed at 1:30 and I won't fall asleep till 3, and then I just start thinking too much, and then my brain starts going back to the past, and I start being sad, and it's an issue. I would recommend not doing that and just closing your eyes and constantly saying the word sheep, 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 sheep. That sometimes helps me sleep with sheep. I don't know. Welsh joke? If you were gonna get any piercing that wasn't your ears, what would it be? I'd get one right here, but I heard that hurts a ton. A tongue. Did you enjoy traveling for 2 months? Yes and no. I love traveling. I like visiting all these new places and cultures and experiencing a lot more of life. And no, because I think I needed to take a bit more breaks in between, because 2 months of straight up traveling is a lot more stressful than you'd believe. Maybe you would believe it. All I wanted, like I said in my video last week, was home. I wanted some consistency, and here I was traveling all around the world continuously and never having my bed and never having my friends and just constantly seeing the world and having adventures. But sometimes all you need is just a break day, and I didn't have many of those. So I'm very thankful to be home right now, but I'm also very excited to get back out traveling. I have to choose A-level choices. Should I go with subjects that I'm passionate about, but it would be a lot of work, or easier ones that I still like? Honestly, this is all about you, but I've had to do the same decision kind of in America when I wanted to study math, and I had 2 choices. I could go for a BA, a Bachelor of Arts, or a Bachelor of Science, a BS. Now, what I said about it was, I'm pretty BA, and I'm not full of BS. Because if you take a Bachelor of Science of math, it's like 75% math, which British people are like, that's not much. But a BA is 50% or less, if you believe me. Literally, I took all the electives that I wanted to take. I took like Japanese and German and acting and piano and music, and I took a lot of fun courses, and I also got a math degree, so it wasn't really stressful, full of like intense like real analysis and mathematics, and it was not that bad. It was half enjoyable and half enjoyable math, because I like math, but not too much. The BS, too much math for me, okay? It's full of BS, not a fan. So if you have a chance to do something you like, and it's not that much work, I'd say, yeah, but if you're super passionate about it and you think it's worth the work and you want a career in that path, go for it. Basically what I told you was, I'm not making up your mind, you have to do that. So good luck. Anyway, that does it for this episode of Ask Evan. Thank you very much for watching. If you did like it, please give it a big thumbs up below, and also subscribe because I make new videos every Sunday. Thanks for watching though. I will see you guys next week for a special video. Goodbye. Hey Evan, what's the best swimming ghoul? Swimming ghoul, just a ghost swimming around. Have you ever thought about writing a pun dictionary for fans to use? Wow, I speak fast. Whoa, I don't even understand what I said there, but they watch me lose. What is this? International Crime Day? Because that's the purge.